over editing. It does strange things to you. It chops you up syllable by syllable. Cut, cut, cut. Every gap is gone and you end up looking like a ransom note. Words snipped out of different places and stuck back together. Have you ever stopped and realized that you stop looking like a real person? So the trick in this whole video is the opposite of what everyone else tells you. Do less. What does that actually mean? Well, it's about returning to natural, coming across like a real person you'd meet in the street or in the field. Someone you could reach out and touch, because here's what I see online. Loads of people are handing everything to AI. They're having avatars. They're using their voices. They're doing strange edits. And the more they lean on it, the more of themselves, well, just leaves. Well, my whole job now is to prove that I'm a real person. I film in 1 or 2 minute chunks. I leave pauses in. I leave the ums in. And I'm out here in a field. There's no music floating around. I'm just a real person talking to you. It's what I'm calling certified organic content. And that's what I'm going for. Feels different, right? Now, everyone thinks making a better video means adding more music, more graphics, more whizzy transitions. And the second you pile that all on, it starts to look less real. Everything I want to do now is about looking more real. So on long form, I strip things back, simple cuts, nothing that yanks your attention off what I'm saying. I like it to feel, well, a bit more analog. I'm not washing the screen with stuff that doesn't exist in real life. And if I use a graphic I genuinely need, I'll have a think first. Could I just hold something up or do it for real? Or I'll try and integrate it into the scene a bit better. Right, here's the big one, the heart of it, really. Others will jump cut the gaps out. I leave them in on purpose. And there's a real science here, because people need a pause to actually take something in. You make a big point, you leave a gap, and they get a second to think about it. Take every gap out and there's no time to think. You get to the end going, I'm sure there was something good in there, but I can't quite remember it, because our brains just can't hold all of it. So if I say this line and edit out all those tiny pauses, all the moments of reflection, it starts to feel a bit strange. But if I just speak, you can now just chill out. That's the whole reason I work in 1 or 2 minute chunks. There's a little gap between each one. You learn a thing, you breathe, and then we can move on together. I want you to finish this feeling relaxed, feeling like, yeah, I could do this. So why does that gap-free, breathless delivery make something feel like AI? Well, picture words just being thrown at your face constantly. No let-up. It's exhausting, isn't it? Nobody wants to listen to someone going at 100 miles an hour. You've seen it, mostly in short-form content, but you say a word and the word pops up as an emoji, then the next word's right behind it because the gap's been cut out. It feels like being hit over the head again and again. And that's the machine speed. That relentless, no breath pace, that's what reads as AI. The pause is the proof that there's a human in there. And it signals that we're confident in what we're saying, because a real person sat having a chat with you would breathe, wouldn't they? Now, the music. That's the top comment on my biggest video. Thank God, no irritating background music. So why do I leave it off? Well, I do use it on short form. It sets a tone, and short form's competing with loads of noise. But long form, I think, is different. Long form is where you find out more about me. And it should feel like we're just together having a chat. I've come to tell you a thing, and that doesn't usually happen in a disco, does it? There is a place for music used on purpose to lift a specific moment. In telly, we've got a name for the quiet stuff that lives underneath a golf scoreboard, something like bubble. But you wouldn't play it whilst you're having a proper chat with a mate. And here's a practical one. Some of you are watching this video, listening to your own music. You can't if I've piled more on top. So think about where your video's actually being watched. That helps you decide. And there's a difference between a cut which is good and a cut which is just nerves. I try and get through a whole section in one go because it feels like I've turned up at this spot to make this one point. And if I'm chopping it up constantly, every cut knocks the energy a little bit. It starts to feel jittery, a bit nervous. And if I genuinely fluff something, I'll cut around it, fine. But in a 1 or 2 minute piece, maybe that happens once. And if it's really bad, I just do the whole take again. People will watch more because you're good company, not because you've machine gunned them through your words. Here's the bit that might surprise you. Going natural is actually faster. Faster to produce and faster to edit. Think about it. Record 20 minutes in one lump and lean on the edit to fix it, and you're building a 1,000-piece jigsaw. I'm building, well, an 8-piece one? Each scene is a clip. In the edit, I just grab the last good take of each. I can see it in the waveforms. There, and there. Bolt them together and I'm 90% done. I'm not sat there going, did I say that right? For hours? When I'm filming, I just ask myself one thing. Did I get a good take at the end? Yes? Well, on to the next. Less faff, less time, and it looks more human. You win twice. Now, you might be thinking he's just lazy and calling it a style, but honestly, it hits harder this way. When I say a thing to you in a single shot, you know I was here. These exact words in this exact order. Chop it into syllables and it's that ransom note again. It stops feeling like a person. And the other honest objection, doesn't YouTube reward fast cuts and music? Retention? Maybe, but I don't think my audience wants retention editing. They want something they can actually take away and use. The people who switch off because it's not flashy enough, they're not my people anyway. And I'm all right with that. I'd rather stand out by being natural than chase everyone else down that same road. So let's tie this together. Why is all that polish, the music, the tight cuts, the perfect pacing, exactly what AI does now? Because, well, AI is forced to. It puts things out at one relentless pace. It can take a clip of me in a field and slap some text on it, but it can't copy the creativity, the surprises. Even in this video, I've tried to add some small touches of me in it too. Also, when something random happens out here whilst I'm filming, you clock it, even without thinking. You go, an AI would never have put that in. So I lean into the stuff a machine would never think of. And the whole game is be the same person on screen you are off it. Someone booked me once and said, you're just the same in real life. And I thought, well, why would I be anyone else? If those two don't match, then one of them's a lie. So here's your one thing for your very next edit. Don't cut for an entire minute. Leave a pause in, leave an in, leave a mistake in. Just let it breathe. And if you strip one thing out to feel more human, make it jump cuts. Turn your head, do an aside. Find a way round the corner without the chop. I'm still working on it too, but right, go and make something that feels like you. And if this helped, hit subscribe, one of these every week. And if you want the one on reading a script without sounding like it, that pairs right with this one, give it a go. And tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you're going to leave in next time? I read every single comment, and I'll see you on the next one.